One of the first tips is to know a lot about the company. The more that you know about the company, the more that you are capable of answering a multitude of questions. And you only know a lot about the company once you understand the basics of it, such as the history. And not only that, you understand the business aspects of it as well. What do they exactly do? Who do they serve? And one of the easiest ways for you to see if you know a lot about a company is to imagine that you own a company yourself and you're in the position of hiring someone. What do you want them to know? Let's say you run a business that sells comic books. You started it in your mom's basement, and this was relevant details that you deemed important in order to put in your website. You have a lot of your selection of the different books that you have. You have your target audience, the type of people that would find interest in the particular content. What do you want this person to know about your company? And this is something that is more emotional in nature. You probably want them to know how you got started in the first place. Now, this sort of details, they're very important for the founders of the company. While you may be at that stage where you're dealing with, let's say, a second to third level manager who don't necessarily care that much. This is why we want to also understand the practicality of this business. Who are they serving? How is it that our role will help them out? Back to the comic book example. You scaled thus far, my friend. You're a big empire, and there are tiers and tiers of people below you. This person that wants to come into the company, let's imagine that your third tier manager is interviewing this person. What kind of questions would the third tier manager ask this individual? Can you create and maintain a website? Do you know how to answer customer complaints? What's your knowledge with comic books like overall? So the higher up that you are speaking to someone, the more emotional of an impact it is. It's the basement story. While the further away they are from the founder, the more of a practical language that they're going to use. You want to be aware of both sides, and the more that you're aware of both sides, that is when you know that you know a lot about the company. Eventually, one of the questions is going to be, what exact skill do you have? People aren't going to always frame it like this. In certain interviews, they're going to have you write a mock code. Other times, they may have you actually waiting a table. I've seen situations like that happen. In this case, let's say you're practicing with one of your buddies. You want this person to be very hard on you. You want this person to be tough. Because if you can answer the tough questions in regards to skills, then on actual job interview day, you feel more competent. But if you can't even answer the hard questions, I'll tell you what to do more about that in one of the next videos. But something about it just doesn't seem right. So let's say you're going to this comic book company and you're like, I'm trying to come here for the web development position, and you can't even build a website. Plenty of individuals get this part wrong. They have a degree in web development and such, but they don't even understand the practical role. They're like, oh, well, I can't build a site, but if you give me some time to do it, I'll probably be able to figure it out. But this section allows you to zone in on what skills you have. And it's not just about listing all these random skills that you know. It's about listing the skills that will benefit the company. Understand that. So the web developer guy's like, well, I don't really know web development, but I know Excel. Well, you're not getting hired for the Excel position. So have the other person role play with you and have them ask the hard edging questions. And it's hard edging once they bring up a question and they probe further into it. Web development, What sort of web development? Do you build the website from scratch, or do you use one of those drag and drop platforms? The more detailed that you're going in, the more awareness that you have in regards to the position. And the more awareness that you have in regards to the position, the more that you see how your current competency of skills will benefit the company that you are applying for. Let's say you're one of those individuals that unfortunately doesn't have that many relevant skills for the company. Do not fear, because this is when a very powerful mantra will come into use. Hire for attitude, train for aptitude. A lot of founders, a lot of managers follow this mindset. They're looking for the attitude of who they're trying to hire. That is not to say that the aptitude is not important, but at times they will sacrifice the aptitude aspect, aka the skills, if you have the attitude. Are you a warm personality? Have you ever exhibited a proper teamworking skills in your past? Are you someone that can think creatively and form connections with others? Are you easy to work with? These are the soft skills. My friend, you got to realize this. There's a lot of ceilings to skills, ceilings to your physical attributes and such, but there is no ceiling to your soft skills. And plenty of people that are going into these job interviews, they're completely unaware of this. They don't bring up at one point that they used to be, let's say, the president of their Toastmasters club. This is something that is like, whoa, so you were the president and you know public speaking very well? This individual is going to view you in an elevated light, because if you're, let's say, going into a company where there's a bunch of hard skills dominant individuals, unfortunately, a lot of these individuals spend a long time talking to the computer, not people. So a lot of these individuals do not know public speaking. This is your opportunity to showcase your attitude in a good way. You're capable of persuading others. You have the soft skills on lock. So take some time to think about the soft skills that you currently possess. Are you a great writer? Are you a great storyteller? Are you a great public speaker? All of these skill sets are highly powerful when applying for a job interview.